This is Craig Migliaccio from DiversiTech, and today what we're going over are two methods to clean line set in order to reuse it for a new HVAC system. So we're going to be using the Hilmor line set cleaner gun in order to shoot a pig through the line set, in order to push any debris, any old oil out of the line set. We're going to be doing that on the line set of this system right here, so we're actually going to be removing this system. And on this unit, we're going to be reusing the line set here by cleaning it with the Pro Flush kit from DiversiTech. So this is the chemical. We're going to shoot the chemical from the inside to the outside in order to clean this line set coming up. We've already removed the old air handler. We've cut the filter dryer out. And now we're going to be adding this chemical down the line set, so it's pitched downwards all the way out to the outdoor unit. And so in order to do that, we add our chemical into the container, we add our nitrogen pressure to push it, and then we're going to follow that up with more just straight nitrogen pressure in order to push the chemical out to the outside. And so in a Pro Flush kit, you end up having the container, an 8-ounce container of the chemical, a funnel, your trigger assembly, a hose, and the instruction manual. So now let's get set up at the outdoor unit. Another way to do this is to connect these two lines inside the building, and then we can take our Pro Flush and squirt this in through the suction line and push it in through the building and then back out through the liquid line. So you can take this tube and bend it and put it in here, crimp this and braze it shut so that you have these two connected, or you could use a Pro Flush adapter to connect this to this tube. We're going to start by blowing this suction line out first. So what we really want to do is we're going to crimp this line with a pair of linesman pliers. And then we're going to crimp this one right here. So we're not crimping it fully, but we're leaving a little outlet on the end. And then we have our bucket right here to catch our debris. Now what we want to do is we're going to ream these tubes so that we don't end up messing up the rubber piece right here. So we're going to use our stick reamer. We're going to tilt the line set downwards. Alright, before we add our Pro Flush in, what I like to do is just blow a little nitrogen through the line set just to blow any oil, say there's an oil glob or something like that stuck in the liquid line. I just want to blow that out before we start putting our cleaner in there. So we have this attached and we have our thumb screw backed out. We're going to open up our nitrogen, and so we have a pressure of about, say, 1100, 1200 psi. I'm just going to push this over to about a little less than 100 psi, and then I'm just going to blow right here. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to add our Pro Flush into the injection tool, and so we're going to use a little bit more than half for this because this will be for the suction line. So that's the one we're going to do first. Now you can use a funnel, but I'm just going to pour this in this way. That's about good. So now we're going to fill this up with our 50 psi of nitrogen. Next, what I want to do is I want to lower this pressure down on this side, so I'm going to back the thumb screw out a little bit. I'm going to release some of the pressure. And basically what we want to get is about 50 psi, which is right about there. And then we're going to hook onto our bottle. Open that up. Make sure this handle is not closed, it's not squeezed. And then we're going to fill our bottle up with 50 psi. After that, we can go ahead and close this down, disconnect. So technically this part could be done without the nitrogen bottle over here right now. And so now we're going to get ready to blow this chemical into our line set tubing. Now because I have another one of these, I'm going to add that onto our nitrogen line just to get that ready. And I also am going to turn this up to about 100 psi because that's where we're going to need to be at after we add our chemical. So here we go. So we're going to do this in just a couple second bursts, and the thing is we're going to pitch this downwards like this. So here we go. What we really want to do is allow the chemical and give it a chance in order to do its job in the tubing before it kind of gets blown out through the tubing by the pressure in this bottle. So that's it. Now we're out of pressure. I'm going to keep that up. We still have our liquid in there, and then we're going to blow it out with this. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And so we have about 100 psi. We're going to allow that to blow out for about a minute. The other thing is you can let it sit in the tubing for a little bit, you know, the chemical, before you blow it out with the nitrogen, just to give the chemical a chance in order to clean the line set tubing. So we should be collecting any debris in the bucket outside. And then after we're all done, when we do our vacuum, we're going to get any remaining stuff out of the tubing. Now we shouldn't have any pressure left in here. I'm just going to ease this open just to verify that. Yep, that's good. Then we're going to unscrew this, and we're going to add our other half of chemical into the injection tool. Now we're going to fill this up with 50 psi. Which we're going to drop this pressure back down. Make sure our hose connections are good. Our handle is not closed or squished. And here we go. So remember, every time that you are filling this up to 50 psi, it should be able to blow most of all the liquid out of here. And so especially if you're going to put the full 8 ounces in. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up again. I'm going to turn this up. This time we'll turn it up to maybe right about there. And now we're ready to go, and we're going to clean our liquid line. So we're only doing a little squirt at a time. You just want to give the chemical a chance to do its job in the tubing. And that's it. So now we're out of pressure. I'm still going to keep this tilted up just in case there's anything in here. Like right at this area right here, because I don't want it to drip out. And now we're going to blow our pressure through. Just going to hold that on there and allow this to blow through for 1 to 2 minutes. So now that we got that done, our bucket should have caught any debris and any contaminants and the chemicals that we blew through here. Now that we got done cleaning this line set right here with the chemicals in the Pro Flush kit, we're going to go over to the other unit over here and we're going to use the Hilmor line set cleaner with the pigs in order to clean that line set. Next, we're going to use the Hilmor line set cleaner on this line set right here, and this is a 3/8, this is a 3/4. We've got a 3/4 adapter right here on the end. We have a deburring tool that we're going to need, and we have selected our pigs from the case. Now let me just take you over to the case and just show you the accessories that come with this and how you select and put this together. And now we're going to see what's inside the box here. We have our instruction manual, we have our case of pigs here, and we have our net to catch the pigs in the line set. And so we have pigs ranging from 3/8 all the way up to 7/8. So right here you have your 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4, and 7/8 OD pigs. Now, just so you know, this diameter is just about the same as the outside diameter of an ACR copper tube. So really this is getting compressed and exerting force on the interior walls of the tubing as it's getting pushed through the tube. And so right here, you can see that's where we would load the pigs at, right in there, just like that. And so even if it's a small one like this, you would still just drop it in and then close this. So as far as what we're gonna need a 3/4. So that's for the 3/4 line set, and then we need the 3/8 right here. And so we can go ahead and screw our 3/4 on. And the end right here, that ends up going into, or over actually, the ACR tubing. And so you're just going to loosen this ahead of time, and then you're going to push this right over the tube in order to get it ready to connect. And so you're just going to push it right on and tighten this up. Now what's nice about this is you could shoot multiple pigs through. In the case of our 3/4 line set, we're going to use that size pig, and you could shoot multiple ones through, clean them off, reuse those pigs again. And so this avoids using any chemicals when you're cleaning your line set tubing. Now in the case of a compressor burnout or something really bad like that, you could use your chemical cleaner and follow it up with your line set cleaner in order to make sure you get everything out. This line set right here goes up, then across the ceiling, and then it goes across the ceiling again that way, and then it comes down the interior wall. There's a brazed on 90 there, another brazed on 90 right outside the building wall, and then it turns and goes over to the outdoor unit. Now we're going to use a deburring tool at the outdoor unit line set, and we're also going to use a deburring tool right here. And so this is how you use the deburring tool. Just make sure that it's pointed downwards. And the whole point of doing this is just to make sure that the pig doesn't get cut upon entering and exiting the tubing. As you can see, for this tubing right here, this refrigerant oil right here is acidic. So you see the bubbles popping like that? That's definitely acidic oil, so we definitely need to clean this line set tubing out. Now we're going to deburr the tubing. The rest of the debris should come out when we shoot our pig through. And now we're going to set up our bucket. Now we're going to put our capture net on. And so you know we have this line set tilted downwards, and this bucket should be able to catch any oil that comes out. So the first thing we need to do after we load the 3/4 adapter in the end is we're going to connect this to our nitrogen bottle. As you can see, we're reading 0 psi there. And so we're going to connect that on. And we want to have our thumb screw backed out on our nitrogen bottle. And then we're going to tune this in until we get to about 60 psi or so, right about there. And so we don't have this loaded yet, right there. So the next thing we're going to do is we can load this in, but first we're going to connect this here. So as you can see, there's a little stainless steel thumb screw. So you want to make sure that that's loose first. Next, we're going to load this pig in. So now we're ready to shoot. Now let's inspect the pig. I don't really see any oil in here. There's a little bit of copper shavings down in there, but there's a little bit of oil on the back of the pig. Let me just take that out. So that's about it. So just a little bit of oil, and now we should move on to our 3/8 line. Next, we're going to switch out our 3/4 adapter with our 3/8 adapter. So what we're going to do is we're just going to loosen this. We can also shut this off just to be safe. So we just need our small 3/8 pig right there. And now we're ready to go ahead and shoot that pig out to the outside. Now let's inspect this. As you can see, we do have oil down in here. So we did get some oil out. We got a little shavings from right here when we were deburring the end. So that pig is in good shape. There's a little bit of oil right there. I will say that both of these pigs right here did not get cut up or anything, even though they went through some 90s. At least this one went through some 90s. So they're in good shape and they got the oil out. Let's go ahead and shoot our small 3/8 pig again just to see if we can get any more oil out. So there's just a little bit of oil on here, and there's a little bit of oil in here, not much. Certainly not anywhere near as much as the first time. So you could shoot this one time or maybe 2 or even 3 times just in order to make sure that you get as much of the old oil out as possible. Now we're going to do some testing, and one of the big questions that gets asked is, will these pigs shoot through a kink? This is 3/8 OD copper tubing, and so let's go ahead and do our test. You can also monitor our nitrogen pressure right over here, and let's do it. So there you go. So you can see our pig went through that, even though it was severely kinked. Sometimes you may not see a kink, and so if it does get stuck in there, you can always shoot it from the other side, back out. But now let's try a larger size. Here we have a kink in our 3/4 OD copper tubing, and we're going to go ahead and load our pig in. So there you go. Now if you do have a pig get stuck in here, what you could do is you could shoot it back from the other side, back this way again. If you have like a real deep kink in a large piece of OD copper tubing, like 7/8 or something like that, it may not shoot through. There may be air on the side next to the pig where the air is pushing through instead of the volume gathering here and forcing it forward. In that case, you can always just shoot the pig back the other way, but it should be able to take care of minor kinks like that. So now I want to point out when you have a non-deburred end like this right here inside the line set. And so this is an old piece right here. This would be a deburred end, so it's not sharp. And so these two pieces right here and right here on the inside have non-deburred ends. I could see just by looking down inside. I just want to show you what the condition is of this pig. It's in good condition. Now let's load it in. The outside's pretty good. It did get cut right there, but that's it. So it made it through and no pieces fell off. If any pieces did fall through or fall off, what you could do is you could just go ahead and blow those out, but this is in pretty good condition. So here we have a 50-foot line set, and we added that 90 assembly with the fittings that were not deburred. And so I want to see how long it takes for this pig to come out. So that took about 5 seconds for the pig to come out. Here's our piece of line set, and I just want to cut this open so you can see the non-deburred sections. You can see that right there, and this one right there, and that one. And that pig made it through there without getting cut up into pieces. So I just want to make sure that we did some of these tests with the Hilmor line set cleaner. I know some people were asking different questions on this tool and its function. So I hope this video has helped you on the line set cleaning methods used in order to reuse existing line set. So if you want to learn more about these tools, I have them linked down in the description section below. And if you want to learn more about HVAC, make sure to check out our website over at acservicetech.com, where we've got free quizzes, calculators, we've got articles, we've got quick tips. And so also we have our refrigerant charging and service procedures for air conditioning book, workbook, and quick reference cards. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll see you next time at AC Service Tech channel.